want to ask you about the
Yeah.
vice president, and I'll ask my colleagues to put up a tweet of yours, which I think summarizes a position. Now, again, the language of this is negative. I think that's a fair use of the word, to be clear. But this is your point of view about her, and it's going to be a little hard to read. Go ahead and take that full, and take Dr. Peterson and me down so everybody can see it. There you go. So,
Yeah,
provoke,
right.
provoke, provoke. Turn the tables on achieving a response. Lie, 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 lie. Joy, joy.
Yeah,
Narcissist manipulation par excellence. She's a master of chaos and deception. So let's focus
absolutely.
on narcissistic manipulation. What do you mean when you
Sure.
say that she's involved in narcissistic manipulation?
It isn't just her, it's her advisor class as well. Well, there's a psychologist, J.D. Haltigan, who's been making much of this on Twitter. He's one of the few psychologists that's willing to use his clinical acumen to analyze the current pathology of the political situation. So there is a cluster of personality disorders known as cluster B, and that includes histrionic, narcissistic, borderline, and antisocial. The antisocial personality types are generally male. The other three categories are generally female. And the typical behavior of someone who manifests that complex of traits is to provoke continually, to provoke an argument on one grounds, let's say, for a self-serving reason, and to push that and push that and push that continually until they evoke a response of some sort from their target, and to be unbelievably persistent and manipulative about that. And then when the person responds, to act aggrieved and victimized, to pretend that the discussion had absolutely nothing to do with that, to accuse the person who's now defending themselves or reacting of like weirdness, let's say, which is obviously what the Kamala, the Harris-Walz campaign is doing, and then to pretend that the whole discussion was about something else all along, and that the people that were targeted are just being strange to even imagine that that might have been the case. Look, it isn't the conservatives or the classic liberals who have made race and diversity and equity and inclusivity the central topic of discussion for the last 10 years. It is 100% the liberal progressive types and all of their media acolytes, all educated in the institutions of higher education, who have made these diversity issues center stage. And for the Harris campaign to fail to put forward any policies whatsoever, and then to accuse the conservatives and classic liberals of concentrating on the wrong issues, because it's always been the economy and healthcare and education all along, is signs of exactly the kind of pathology that I'm describing. It is the most deceptive political campaign I've ever seen in my life. And like she is running 100% on image. It's so interesting to see, because obviously part of the reason that Harris had political success to begin with, career success, is because she fit the DEI stereotype so perfectly. She's a minority female, so she hits the intersectional checklist categories, and she is running, as far as I can tell, 100% on that. It's a 100% image campaign, and so that's a remarkable thing to see, and it's quite terrifying also that it's so successful. You know, what's Harris? Well, she isn't an angry old white man. It's like, that's typical histrionic narcissistic argumentation and behavior, that's for sure. And I see every sign of that in the campaign, and people have no idea how dangerous that is. No idea at all. So it's a remarkable thing to see.